EQX. It is Keller with two special guests. We've got Max and Mike from the Arkells who are performing tonight in Albany, part of the Move Music Festival at the Hollow. Guys, welcome to the EQX House Sessions.
Love this place. Scenic, baby.
Yeah, it's fun here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. It's way less corporate than some of the other radio stations we go to sometimes.
And you know what? A lot of radio stations, there's a lot of great people at those stations, but what happens is you have like 5 or 6 radio stations in one building, and it looks like a bank or a corporate plaza, and we kind of decorate it like we're having fun in somebody's basement. So it does feel and look different, doesn't it?
Yeah, and most aren't located in like Manchester, in a city like this. This is awesome.
Yeah,
this is so cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I think that makes it fun for the bands too, is because we often think about what bands go through, and you go city to city. You only have a limited amount of time to make friends, be comfortable, eat, do what you do best, and perform. So I think I'm just guessing, when you come to a place that's different, it just makes the adventure even more so.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, sets the vibe, especially.
Yeah, the band is meeting us in Albany. Mike and I, because we've been on tour for a while, we decided to make this weekend, because it's only a one-off. We brought our ladies with us. So they're wandering around Manchester right now. We drove up separately. And there's all the little boutique-y kind of stores around here.
This is a big boutique-y and outlet and little coffee shop kind of town. This is a fun town to wander around.
Yeah, so they're doing that right now as we're performing.
Yeah.
That's perfect, man. That's making use of it. You know, both of you have acoustic guitars. It reminds me of what you put out, I believe it was last fall, Study Music.
Yeah.
Which is an album, well, like an EP, would you say, of acoustic songs. What made you take the studio versions and release an album of just some of your favorites acoustic?
Well, we always do kind of acoustic renditions, especially when we're coming to do like radio sessions like this. And the response is always really nice, and I think it kind of gives the songs a different dimension, and people hear them a little bit differently. And a lot of times they're written on an acoustic guitar to begin with. So we wanted to kind of put something official out, and we were trying to think of a name for it. And then I always see on Twitter or like on playlists on like Apple Music or something like that, there's like study session music. So like, let's just call it study music, because people are just going to study to it, and while they're like cramming for exams, and that's like serves the purpose, I think. And
sometimes you don't have to overthink it.
Yeah. Study, and it's kind of funny, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what do you want to lead off today with?
We're gonna play a new song for you. Can we play a new song? Brand new song?
Do it. Would love to hear it.
All right. This is a new song. It's called Private School. There's an old expression that I really like. I don't know who coined it, but it's born on third base and thought he hit a triple. Are you familiar with that one?
I don't know who did it, but I love that idea. It's people who think they did really great, but they were given a head start.
Yeah, they're sort of born into like a nice life. And
yeah, don't brag about the home run when you started on third.
Exactly. So I think there's real comedy there, and so this song is kind of dealing with those mixed emotions and talking to somebody like at a party who is of that ilk. Here it is, Private School. 1, 2, 3, 4. Private school girls and private school boys playing games, expensive toys. Private school girls and private school boys down the little road wide north. Try so hard to find an end, but you aren't giving me anything. Come on now, throw me a line. It's a sign. Come on, don't say I do the same. Getting off without an ounce of shame. You know, I just wanna love you, but it's so hard. I just wanna love you, but it's so hard. Hey, hey! Private school boys and private school girls, the nicest skin, the nicest curls. Private school boys and private school girls, give me a chance, give me a whirl. You walked in, my jaw hit the floor. You act like this is such a chore. Around you I feel like swine. You're divine. Come on, don't say I do the same. Getting off without an ounce of shame. You know, I just wanna love you, but it's so hard. I just wanna love you, but it's so hard. I wanna go to the party, I wanna drink the get naughty. I wanna go to the party. I wanna drink the Bacardi. Who's bringing the Molly? Who's gonna stop me? I come out. Don't say I do the same. You're getting off without an ounce of shame. You know, I just wanna love you, but it's so hard. I just wanna love you. You're making it so hard. Private school kids, life is so simple, but it's so hard. On third base, thought they hit a triple, but it's so hard. Private school kids, life is so simple.
Arkells here on EQX.
There you have it.
I like that. And you played a new one for us that we weren't as familiar with. Man, I love the story like we were talking about before the song. I love the message of what you're getting at.
Well, you know, I found it's sort of like a conflicting place to be in, because oftentimes when you're talking to a person of that ilk, they're very nice to look at, and maybe they've invited you to a really cool party, and you're like, and you want to like them, but then they keep on saying things that you just make you kind of shudder. You're like, oh, can you really said that? They just lack the self-awareness that they ought to have. So it's mixed emotions in those situations.
Well, I think you guys in general probably get up close and personal with a lot of people, because I remember when you performed at the Hollow, it was either maybe it was last time, but I remember especially during Leather Jacket, for instance, which is just an anthem.
Yeah.
Like not everybody can write an anthem, and that one's phenomenal, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I remember during that, you were getting in the crowd. And not every performer needs to get off stage, but you really were in it, man. It was really quite an experience.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I always have a good time doing that. You sort of, when you do that, you break the tension a little bit between, like, you kind of make it feel like it's a community affair, like everybody's kind of in it together. So, yeah, because when you kind of feel stuck on stage, people aren't maybe as comfortable moving their own body, but if you get in there with them, it kind of loosens everybody up in a nice way.
Do you think it freaks out the sound people when you do that?
They're used to it by now.
Okay, they're used to that.
There's definitely, we have like a guy at the side of the stage who's trying to like, he's more concerned about like a tangled cord. He's
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
He's like just on the chords. Yeah.
Can we hear Leather Jacket
Yeah,
here?
let's play Leather Jacket.
I'd like it.
All right, here we go. It's the acoustic version, study music version of Leather Jacket. 1, 2, 3. Hundreds of stories before I showed up. They tell them to me and pull photos up, and they're all connected like a pair of handcuffs. No one seemed affected, that everyone had woo. But there was a softness, some kind of understanding. Those 2 a.m. decisions, I wish I could land it. And no one ever knew what could be demanded. Maybe it's the cards that she was handed. You called me up from a payphone. I said, hang tight, I can drive you home. I pulled on up, and with a southern accent, I offered you my dad's leather jacket. I met her at a party, she come straight from work. Complained that the regulars were all a bunch of jerks. She always looked tired, she dazzled as a drunk. She even pulled off that stupid haircut. She said, I don't need a sponsor or the best lover, some man that sees me as some fixer-upper. The last few years I've been running for cover, trying to sleep so I could visit my mother. You called me up from a payphone. I said, hang tight, I can drive you home. I pulled on up, and with a southern accent, I offered you my dad's leather jacket when times were tough in the worst years. We never knew how to interfere, and now you're back and you're just unpacking. It's those bruised up takers you keep attracting. In September, when it goes off like some goddamn alarm clock, and it hits her like your third shot. Conversations, she just stares off. There's no longer a voice calling when she goes out, saying, I'll be up waiting for you. You call me up from a payphone. I said, hang tight, I can drive you home. I pulled on up and with the southern accent I offered you my dad's leather jacket when times were tough in the worst years. We never knew how to interfere, and now you're back and you're just unpacking. Those bruised up takers you keep attracting. You call me up from a payphone. Ooh. Call me up from a payphone. Ooh. You call me up from a payphone, and I said, it's 2016. Who uses a payphone? There you go.
Arkells, Max and Mike stripping it down acoustic right now. Going to be playing tonight at the Hollow Bar and Kitchen, part of the Move Music Festival. And I was curious, with a song like that, I mean, it's obvious a lot of your songs are very easy to get into and enjoy as a listener, but when you have a big radio single, for instance, something like that, what's the gratification? What's it feel like when you start playing it and you see people from city to city, towns you've never spent more than a day or two in, and they're singing back every word? They've completely connected. What's that feel like as a band?
It's the best. It's really just like one of the funnest parts of the job. And it's funny because we almost scrapped Leather Jacket from the record. We recorded it and we didn't like it, and then we re-recorded it, and we're like, okay, it's getting better. But we almost didn't have it on the record. It's because for us, it's like we like all the songs kind of equally, but sort of for different reasons. But we didn't think that like Leather Jacket like had this big chorus that people were gonna get really attached to. And that's sort of the beauty of the business that we're in, is that like you kind of don't know necessarily what's going to hit. You gotta trust your instincts and trust that what you're doing is worthy of people's attention, but you don't know that it's going to be at. So to see the reaction is always really exciting and really cool.
And you know what? It seems like year after year you hear stories like this from all sorts of bands where they say, we almost didn't put that one on the album.
Yeah,
it's true. And like there's so much guesswork. There's a lot of like people on the record industry side that like think they know, but nobody really knows, you know, and like what's going to be the thing that will, you know, be the hit song for a band.
Max and Mike from Arkells, great job this afternoon. It was really fun having you guys
Thanks
out
for
here.
having us up here.
All right.
Beauty.